Hello and welcome back to Some Climbing News. Lots of stuff going on this week, and to those who watched and commented on Tuesday's video, all I gotta say is, dude, it's not Nam, it's bouldering. There are rules. But hey, Sungsu has sent Burden of Dreams for a second time to silence the haters. We got news of Janja on Burden, second ever flash of El Cap, and more. So as always, please sit back, relax, don't forget to like, subscribe if you're into these bi-weekly climbing news dives, and yeah, let's get into it. And starting off today's episode with a quick look at Michaela Kirsch, who just spent a few days in Magic Wood where she just sent the knowing 8B/V13. Probably one of the coolest lines in Magic Wood, honestly, and definitely one of those boulders that kind of makes your butt pucker just a teeny little bit. It's pretty tall, and the landing under the top moves doesn't exactly inspire confidence. Apparently, it only took Michaela 2 days to do this problem, which is about right for her. I mean, she's one of the strongest climbers in the world, like, no questions asked. Basically, one session spent on rope, working the moves, warming up on top of the boulder for her second session, and then firing the whole rig on her first go. Easy money. If I could do 8B that easily, I would be out climbing all the ABs instead of sitting here talking to a stupid camera. Why is bouldering season almost over? God damn it. Anyways, huge congrats to Michaela on a well-deserved send. Gotta wonder if she's gonna give the sit, or I guess in this case the low start. Any go, she seems to be maybe kind of hinting at it. By the way, in case you're not familiar, the low start is called the understanding, was FA'd by Nale Hukataiwa, and has only been repeated 5 times, so would be pretty cool to see. I'll put a link in the description to Nale's send for you to go and check out. Well, yeah. And then, alright people, so to everyone that commented on my last video telling me I'm crazy for thinking a shirt touching pad is a dab, I don't think that's the case, man. Come on, what do you think this is? His shirt wasn't what dabbed, it was his butt. I know he said it was his shirt, but you can see the pad move when he winds back down after he pulls on. His shirt isn't heavy enough to do that. It was his ass. And look, I think it's a dab. Sungsu is even more strict than I am because he thought it was his shirt, and yet he still thinks it's a dab. Guys, it's a dab. It's a dab. It's on me for not making it crystal clear that obviously shirts and like hair in a ponytail while on a roof lightly brushing the pad are not dabs, and that was clearly this dude's butt. But the conversation should have been whether or not the dab invalidated the send, which, to be honest, the only person that gave me pause was this guy, who said that because no move had been done before the dab occurred, it was basically like resetting and pulling again. So like, had this been a flash go, it wouldn't have been a flash, but a second try, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I don't know. There's a part of me that thinks that this doesn't work because there's still a slight, bounce factor. It's all about where we draw a line and whether or not there should be gray areas when it comes to dabs, right? Me personally, I think gray areas are stupid. Did the atoms of your shoe brush the atoms of the pad? If yes, then dab. Is that physics? I don't think that might be wrong. Someone tell me how wrong I am in the comments with my stupid physics joke. I don't know anything about anything. I don't know why there are people out there who seem to like actually listen to a word I say. But yeah, honestly, this is the most fun I've had talking about this stuff since that one time Matt Foltz dabbed on Overkill, which, by the way, if you don't know, people freaked out that he dabbed on the send of his first ascent of a V14. He repeated it and did this. Absolute chef's kiss. But speaking of repeating climbs that have been dabbed on, Sungsu did Burden again, which is both ridiculously impressive and makes me feel like I won this argument because the dude that dabbed felt he needed to repeat the boulder and do it clean because the first time he did it, he dabbed. Checkmate, you bastards. Pack it up. Just go home. But honestly, I mean, the strongest climbers in the world spent years freaking fighting for their lives to do this climb. Nale devoted 2 years of his life to this thing. Daniel freaking Woods was stoked to have just hung on the holds that one time he and Jimmy went to give Burden a look-see. And here comes Sungsu and just semi-casually does it twice? Is no one else freaking out about this? Like, dab aside, that is seriously impressive. Oh, and just because I know someone out there is gonna try to catch me on this, I know what I said. He did it twice. He did it twice, but sent it once. There's a difference. You guys are playing checkers, and I'm gonna severely regret this once someone, smarter, way more clever than me kicks my ass in the comments. Anywho, congrats to Sungsu for this absolutely insane demonstration of climbing skill and strength. And speaking of Burden of Dreams, guess who was just spotted on it? If you guessed Janja Garnbret, you're right. Yes, photos have surfaced of Janja trying Burden of Dreams. Wild stuff. Now, there's not a lot of information that I can currently give you past she tried the boulder, because no one other than the people who were there with her actually know what happened. All I can really do is speculate, and freaking speculate I will, because John Glassberg was there with her, and John Glassberg is like Mr. Climbing Movies guy. And you don't bring Mr. Climbing Movies guy along unless something big has happened and you can see him holding a big old camera right here. Unless he was there filming someone else who was trying that boulder, like Lee Sungsu or Duichi Murai, which is possible. I don't know what John Glassberg does all day, because I'm not weird. Anyways, speculation is fun, and seeing how quickly and easily Janja was able to send Bugalize and sit, which is a hard 8C that she did in like 30 minutes. It's not exactly a big jump to think that it's reasonable. She might have at the very least gotten all the moves and made some links on this thing. Now again, I don't know how long she was there. A day, 2 days, a week, 3 weeks, a month. So honestly, this is just one of those things where we're gonna have to wait and see. Maybe people are following her around for a big, this is what Janja did with her year-long comp hiatus movie that will drop in 2026. Who the hell knows? I really hope that honestly happens, because that would be really freaking cool. But anyways, and then just gonna do a quick little pivot back to indoor climbing content, because my personal favorite indoor series, Tension's Board Lords, just dropped another episode, this time featuring Alison Vest and Kari Kondi. And honestly, man, I don't know what it is about this series, but it's just great vibes in general. I don't even have a Tension 2 available to me. I've only ever climbed on one like 4 times in my life, but for whatever reason, every time I see the videos pop up on my feed, I immediately drop everything and give them a watch. If you haven't seen them before, seriously check them out. I cannot recommend them enough. Honestly, the whole Tension channel, dude, it's seriously goated. And on to some more climbing media. Carlo Traversi, FAs of the Dark Side, just dropped over on the Black Diamond channel. It's not just the video for the FA of one of Yosemite's hardest problems, the same problem set by Aiden Robert and Katie Lamb. It's also a 45-minute epic going through Carlo's climbing in Yosemite, and features a ton of incredible climbing. Yeah, man, not much to say other than if you're into climbing movies and stuff like that, go check that one out for sure. And speaking of El Cap, we gotta talk about Will Moss, who not only just became the second person to ever flash El Cap after Babsi Zangaro, he actually became the first person to ever flash it in a single day. Now, I talked about Babsi's flash of El Cap in another video, this one right here, but I didn't really get into the specifics of it. I had one commenter ask about Pete Whitaker's almost flash of El Cap too, so let me just super quickly set the record straight. So first, we actually got to go back to 2009, when Swiss climber Cédric Lachatte almost became the first person to flash El Cap. Basically, the guy flashed the first 10 pitches, came down the wall, waited 10 days, then went back up on fixed ropes, flashed every single pitch after that, then proceeded to fall on the boulder problem on pitch 24. Yeah, Honnold's boulder problem, that one. Multiple times before going a different route for pitch 24, the alternative called Teflon Corners, which he flashed. Then in 2014, Pete Whitaker, kind of had the same thing happen to him. On his 3-day journey up El Cap, Pete flashed every single pitch of Freerider until he reached the boulder problem, missed a foothold, fell, and decided to try Teflon Corners, which he then proceeded to flash along with every other pitch on his way up. So are those flashes? Yes and no. Kind of. They're not super clean ones, right? Because while they both technically did a full multi-pitch with no falls, they did fall, and consensus has kind of fallen, no pun intended, on no, not flashes. And then 10 years later, we get Babsi Zangaro, who does manage to go up El Cap without any falls at all. She actually did do the boulder problem, by the way. No Teflon Corners for her, and it took her 3 days to do it. Then enter Will Moss, who basically just did the exact same thing Babsi did, except he did the entire freaking climb in just a day. Well, actually 22 hours, 16 minutes, 34 seconds if you want the exact time. And look, I mean, can we just talk for a second about how that insane that is? It's 34 pitches in a day. I don't think I've ever had a volume day like that. Like, how was this dude not completely destroyed? That's about a pitch every hour and a half. It's insanity. Apparently doing this was something Will had been thinking about for a while too. He'd gone to Yosemite twice before to try and get it done, but had unfortunately not been able to get ascend because of bad weather, wet holds, and just a general lack of partners to belay him. So basically he didn't even try the route on the times that he went to Yosemite. Anyways, man, this is some serious next level climbing from a dude that, I mean, he's relatively unknown, but he is capital S strong. He's sent some of the hardest trad lines in the US. Actually, here's him doing a 514A/AP plus called En Passant, in case you're curious. But yeah, massive congrats to this dude for a historic ascent of El Cap. I mean, seriously, insane stuff. But that was some climbing news. Pretty much all I have for you guys so far. Still working on getting my shit together in general, but hopefully, I mean, I don't know, I've got nothing for you guys in terms of predictions or whatever, but yeah. Once again, and as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you guys on Tuesday at the absolute latest, but in the meantime, enjoy the weekend, and as always, go climb some stuff.